Good morning, everyone. My name is Renal Paramel. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Strategy of Things, and we are here today to talk to Sergei from Gurtam. Sergei, please have a quick introduction.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Renil. So my name is Sergei Leuchanka, and I'm a VP of Business Development for Gurtam's flespi product, and happy to be here.
Fantastic. So Gurtam is a player in the fleet telematics space. You have over 4 million connected assets right now, and we heard that you've been looking at applying AI into this space. So maybe you can give us a little bit light on how you have been approaching using AI, leveraging AI into your product suite at Gurtam.
Yeah, absolutely. So, just to set a stage on AI a little bit, Renil, right? So, AI has certainly been a big buzzword of 2023. It successfully, we see, spilling into 2024 as well. So it may seem that that's something like drastically new. However, I think what really got everybody blown away last year is the generative AI capabilities, right? Based on large language models. And how amazing turned out to be this ability to use the natural language to communicate with an AI, right? But as AI as a field has been around for decades, right? So this is just to begin with, to set the stage. So in terms of how we're looking to apply at Gurtam, AI to our product. So just a month ago, we had a large partner gathering for our Wheel-On community in Vilnius, Lithuania. That's where we're based out of. And our CEO, Alexei Shurko, did an opening speech where he talked about different trends in telematics, fleet telematics, and AI predictably took most of that time during that presentation. So there's a lot of points, but we're really constrained on time here. So I'm gonna bring up one interesting one, I think. So our Wheel-On product, which is a fleet management platform, is a very sophisticated platform with a lot of emphasis on fleet management and eco-driving driver behavior capabilities. They are really unparalleled in space, and a lot of the customers who go for Wheel-On, they really go for those differentiators, fleet, fuel, and eco-driving. But what ends up, interestingly, the downside, however, is that while they're super powerful, at the same time, they are extremely difficult to set up.
Sure.
Right? So what ends up happening is that we see the power users, really the companies who are willing to invest resources and capabilities and experiment with things, do take advantage of them, whereas everybody else, just the marketing message resonates with them. They sign up, but they essentially, lose out on those capabilities. So we think AI is poised to completely transform that. We think that with AI, that all those complexities can be abstracted away, right? So instead of tweaking the boxes and changing the threshold and experimenting, what does that do to the analysis, to the intelligence they extract from the platform? AI would essentially, based on the incoming data stream on the user activity, automatically set things up for the customer, right? And that essentially gonna reduce this significant hurdle that we see with very few power users, like I said, taking advantage of those capabilities. You're gonna make those advanced capabilities much more accessible to others, right? And we think it's a big deal. And this may not sound very sexy, when you talk about AI and what it can do, but in a big way, it's about simplification, and it's going to be significant. We think it's going to be significant.
Sounds very fascinating. Looks like you guys are putting a lot of effort into the product side of the equation. My next question to you is, how about looking internally? So as a company, have you tried to incorporate AI into potentially operational efficiencies, or seeing where you can get some more innovative approaches?
Yeah, absolutely. So actually, interestingly, I think we've gone a little further on the operational side of things with AI already. So just a month ago, we've leveraged the OpenAI's GPT technology to build an AI assistant chatbot for, not for Wheel-On in this case, for the flespi product that we have. And to train the model, we've fed it all the content that we have in our knowledge base, as well as about 6 years of high quality blog content and the forum content. And the result is actually pretty amazing. We're certainly not at 100% accuracy in terms of how that bot responds to the request, but we would estimate that it's probably between 80 to 90%. And flespi is extremely technical product, right? For somebody, for the new employee to come in and learn to that level of knowledge that is possessed now by, we called him Cody, by the way. We gave him a name, Cody, that AI assistant, right? It's actually amazing that level of command of knowledge, and also the ability of explaining with greater articulation very clearly quite complex technical concepts. And by the way, to begin with, we've had a really high bar for the quality of our support. Just to give you an idea on the flespi side of things, we don't have a functional separation between operations and, not the operations, the development and the support. So what that means, essentially, the same engineers, highly competent engineers who develop the product also provide the support. This is just how we approach things to ensure a high level of support. So even with that in mind, that level of support that Cody is able to provide, right, is extremely, extremely high. So we're very, very happy to where we've gotten with that, in a very short period of time, too. So
is Cody's your assistant? Is that the flespi assistant you were talking about? Okay.
Exactly.
Sounds like a very fun story. So tell me, are you finding AI potentially unlocking a lot of value? Like we're seeing in many IoT vendors are looking at AI to solve a spectrum of problems, and it looks like you guys have applied some of this into your products. Looks like you've applied some of it internally. What's ahead? What do you guys think is the road ahead?
So I think we want to be careful with this, right? I think one of the missteps or some of the things that companies do, kind of rushing into this, just because there's a feel of this external pressure, right? Everybody wants to have for every single company have an AI strategy, right? You got to have a good answer, right? You have to very clearly articulate where you're moving and why you're doing this. And I think a lot of companies just kind of struggle and rush, and they just throw AI at every problem. And as as we all know, every company has much more problems that they have ever time or resources to solve, right? So we actually, being very, very careful with that. As a completely private company, we don't have the external pressures of the investors and those type of stakeholders. So after with Alexei's leadership, I think we're very strategic and we kind of know. So those areas that I identified, those that we feel confident talking about, and that is why we're sharing this information. There's obviously talks about potentially finding other angles to it, right? At the same time, I think the prudent and slow approach is going to yield more result than just rushing into this. And when you're not quite ready, when you don't quite understand what you're getting yourselves into.
Sounds fantastic. This has been a great conversation, Sergei. I'm sure we are looking forward to hearing more about what you and your company are going to be unrolling in the field of AI and telematics. Thank you for your time here, and have a wonderful rest of CES.
Thank you so much, Ranil. I appreciate the opportunity.